So I've never really had a need, I think, for a switcher. And actually, this is a monitor, keyboard, like video keyboard, monitor switch, HDMI. It's got a whole bunch of stuff you can switch between. What does it say? AV-access dual monitor KVM switch, 2-port HDMI with hotkey switching, supports high refresh rates like 144, 165, and 240 hertz. Now, I normally have one computer set up with X. Like one computer, one set of monitors and keyboards. One computer, one set of monitors and keyboards. But our machine upstairs, that's not the case because I use the monitors with my Mac Studio. My wife uses the monitors with her Windows computer for work, and I use the monitors and all that as well sometimes when I hook up my laptop, or sometimes when I hook up my actual Steam Deck because I like to game on it. So something like this I thought would be kind of cool. $159. So it says 2x1 dual monitor KVM switch. Control 2 PCs, which is good. I'll probably have it set up to be my wife's and the Steam Deck, possibly, with only one set of keyboard, mouse, and 2 monitors, which is great because keyboard, mouse, monitor for the Switch, keyboard, mouse, monitor for the Steam Deck, awesome. Keyboard, mouse, monitor for my wife's computer, awesome. 2 application modes. In addition to the KVM mode mentioned, you can also toggle the switch to USB mode to stream 2 different video sources onto 2 monitors simultaneously. That's nice. Built-in USB 3.0 hub. Also sweet that it comes with a hub. Again, 4K UHD, which is awesome. We're not actually going to be running this with any 4K displays, but we do have an ultra-wide and we have a 1080 display. The ultra-wide actually can, I think, do 144 hertz or 165, I'm not too sure. Fast and flexible switching. So supports switching via front button and keyboard hotkeys. Switch faster with automatic PC wake up and EDID emulations. So that's, I think this is going to be really cool for us. I just need to figure out where I'm going to put it. Anyways, let's take a look at what comes in the box and we'll set it up upstairs, see what we think. Okay, first off, here we go. Dual channel design, you guys can see it here. Video, analog, audio, mouse, keyboard, and other USB peripherals. Sweet. 3x USB 3.0 port, which supports up to 5 gigs data transfer speeds. Supports 2 application modes, KVM and USB mode, HDMI 2 and HDCP 2.2 compliant. Can do up to 4K 60, which also means, I believe, when you're running at these different hertz, like 120, 1440, it may not actually run at 4K. Just kind of be aware of that. Supports new generation automatic PC wake up. Yep, fast switching, cool. Supports front buttons. Has 2 headphone jacks, one for, or I guess 2 3.5mm jacks. One for microphone and one for headphones. Supports HDMI outputs, CEC trigger on HDMI outputs. Works with various operating systems. I'm glad that Mac is there. We'll also see, I guess we'll see if it actually works with Valve's OS, because that's what we're going to be using it on. And I would think most things would work on that. No driver required. Okay, again, I'll put links down below to their website. You guys can go take a look if you want. This is the box. It's a good size box, right? Good size box. There's the info there on all the stuff I kind of talked about, and your screen on the back. So PC 1, PC 2, very cool. Monitor 1, monitor 2, very cool. All right, let's take a look. Let's take a look at it. I'm guessing this is going to be awesome once you figure out how to use it. And I'm not going to go through the setup process with you guys because it may take me a little bit. I'm just saying. There's your manual, which a nice good size manual, which is excellent. Goes through all the hotkey information, application modes. My hope would be how to actually set it up. That's the hope, you know, because I've never set up a KVM switch. I'm going to say it. I've never set one up. So That I will keep handy. That I will keep handy. You get that looks like a European plug. I do have adapters, but I'm guessing so it has a European plug, but it also does come with a North American plug. So that's good. I guess they have one unit that they sell everywhere. Oh, they even have a different plug. This is a different one. So all the different standards. That's cool. And then you have this. Oh, so one of these cables plugs into this. Yes, whatever one is for your area. And then this plugs into the switcher. And then, is that it? Oh, no. Then you do get, basically, you do get, what a weird connector. What is, I've never even seen a connector like that. What is that? You see this? First I thought it was like a printer connector, but that's not a printer connector. That's your USB 3 on that side, but that is, I have no idea what that is. And I'm guessing, yeah, you get two of those. Okay. That looks like it. And then the switcher's actually smaller than I thought it was going to be. It's not small by any means, but it's smaller. It's a good size. You guys can see it here, which is good because I was like, where am I going to put that? Because the box makes it look large. It does. And that's got some weight to it. Yes, that's got some weight to it. That's nice. AV access, dual monitor KVM switch. And you can look up here. Here's all going to be your ports. So there's going to be your power, your KVM or USB mode. You're going to have your switch between machine 1 or machine 2. USB 1.1, it looks like this is for your keyboard to go in because it doesn't need much for data transmission, right? There's going to be your USB 3s. Microphone and headphone jack right there. Excellent. Just so you know, on the bottom, it does have nice rubber feet. So that's going to be good. A lot of venting to keep this cool, I would think. A little bit of factory seal, so if you decide to open it up, then you probably void all your warranties and stuff like that. And then on this side, there's that power. There's your HDMI in, USB host. What a weird. I'm glad they give you a cable for that. I would be like, what is that? HDMI in. So HDMI in 1, and so you got dual monitors there, and there's your second setup. You can go dual monitors again. Is that really what it is? HDMI in, HDMI in. And then monitor A, monitor B. So yeah, and then there's a USB port, I guess, for doing possible like firmware updates and things like that. So I'm gonna have to read a little bit on how this connects because I'm very curious. I do think that basically what happens is one cable out to your machine, which is kind of the purpose, right? One cable out to the machine, and then things like monitors would plug in here, and then keyboard and mouse. I may do keyboard, mouse, and maybe a game controller. I'm going to see if that actually functions because that would be awesome. That's what I want on my Steam Deck. Okay, I'm going to go upstairs and see if I can connect this, see how it works. All right, my friends, we are downstairs, and for those of you that have been on this channel for some time, this is my little streaming area, but it's also one of the few areas that I actually have a Windows computer. So there are some things that I do on this computer, which means that it may be working or doing whatever. And it's also a time that I may want to play some PC games. Now, my PCs are not gaming machines by any means, so they're really built for doing work and some streaming, things like that. So I do have my Steam Deck down here. And my Steam Deck, I have now used this switch, and I've have it all set up here. So basically what I have set up is this monitor. You can see it, this little top monitor up here. My keyboard, my mouse, and a game controller. Now I could have two monitors, but the way that my second monitor, which is actually the TV down here, works, it goes through a capture card, so I didn't really want to fiddle around too much with that. Anyways, everything goes in here, so you do have to have at least 1 or 2 HDMI cables to make sure this works. I kind of wish that this setup would come with all the cables that you required, especially at least the HDMI cables, but it doesn't. Anyways, so I have an HDMI cable that comes from the computer into the switcher, and then of course it goes from the switcher out to the monitor and comes from my switch also into the switcher. Then as you can see on the front here, I have my keyboard, mouse, and game controller hooked into the USB ports on the front. And then last but not least, we have those USB cables that are supplied. The weird USB cable, I'm not even sure, USB-B, sort of, kind of looks that way. It's a USB 3 cable, I know that. And that I have one running to my Steam Deck, and of course one running to the computer. So really cool. And the nice thing is once this part is kind of all set up, if you did have to switch machines, you wouldn't have to do anything on the actual switcher. You would do everything just from, so let's say I didn't want my Steam Deck down here and I wanted my MacBook, or I wanted one of my other computers, or I had to substitute the computers. I really don't have to do anything with the switch. I just unplug it from the one machine and plug it into the new machine. So that's nice and easy. So anyways, you guys will be able to see over here, and it's really what we're looking at is this top display, this display up here. So right now it's my Windows computer, and you can see I can drag screens up there and get it all working, which is the way it should, which is the way it was working before. I can come down here, for instance, on the search bar. This keyboard functions just fine. My mouse is functioning just fine, and the game controller is functioning just fine. Now I won't be able to move it here, but if I opened up a game, it would work, which is exactly what it should do. Then if I come here, you'll see in here that you can switch this to KVM, or you can switch it to just a USB switcher. Of course, I have it on KVM. Then I'm going to say switch from 1, which is the Windows computer, to 2, and you should see that pop off and pop off. So it says controller disconnected, but that's not true, because it does take, I think, just a little bit of time for it to figure out. There it goes, and we're back. Now I have my game controller up here. Again, this is now running on the Steam Deck, but let's say we came back here, right? I don't have the volume set up. There is like a headphone out or a speaker out on the actual switcher, so that we could plug in speakers directly into it. Since right now I just have HDMI audio going out to the TV, which is normally what I just use, I don't have any external speakers. So those will come. But this is awesome. It's like playing on a little, it's probably just as good as my Xbox One S, I would say, playing it here. I may actually do a comparison of the Steam Deck versus like the One S, but yeah, that works great. I can come out of this, of course, use all my buttons here. I think to get out, I can use a keyboard, which I can use my keyboard here to get back out. Right, my mouse is fully functional, which is awesome. It's exactly what I want. Now I should be able to figure out how to exit the desktop. Yes, just so you guys can see that it is the Switch, or sorry, the Steam Deck that we're using. And there we are. We're back. There's Forza. You can tell this is definitely, and like I said, my mouse works just right. I can move up and down on my mouse here. I can use my game controller to move around. I can come down to here under the search, and I can use my keyboard to type in there. So if I was looking for a specific game, let's say I'm looking for, I don't know, Dirt. There we go. Dirt comes up. Awesome. They need to put on it that it also works for the Steam Deck, because definitely works for the PC. And I would think anything that is like driverless. So I think down the road I may try to see if I can get it to pair with my Mac, but 2 PCs should be no issue at all. And I would think as long as all the devices that you're plugging into the USB are compatible with the system that you're plugging in, you shouldn't have any issues. So it's very cool. All right, guys, I'll put links down below where you can pick one up if you're looking at having, 1 keyboard, 1 mouse, 1 or 2 monitors. You can have dual display. Game controller, whatever, and you can switch between machines. It's awesome. All right, guys, that's it. Links down below, and I'm gonna go play some Steam Deck. I haven't played the Steam Deck in a while, so I think today's a good day for it. Later.